Hello, my name is Tanner. My topic for the final paper was the Tacoma Narrow Bridge collapse happened in Washington State. The bridge was built in July of 1940, and it collapsed just 4 months later in November of 1940. It was one of the earliest bridges that was designed to be flexible and move with the wind weather. So the bridge could move. It was supposed to move like this. I'll add some pictures to kind of help you understand, like this. And the eventual collapse was because it started moving this way. So it was a design fault. The Leon Moisef was the lead design engineer on the bridge, and he was the one who took most of the heat from this collapse. So um, he was a famous or a well-respected engineer. I don't know if famous is the right word, but he was the design engineer for the Golden Gate Bridge, the Bronx Whitestone Bridge, and the San Francisco to Oakland Bay Bridge. So at the time in 1940, very prominent, um, worldwide known bridges. So he was well respected in the industry, but he kind of took too much of a risk with this bridge because he wanted a sleek, light design, and it was a suspension bridge. I should have mentioned that as a suspension bridge because most bridges at the time were where they just had the concrete pillars that went and they were low. They went into the water, and this was a big, long suspension bridge, so it only had two long, uh, ginormous concrete piers, and then it had the cables, hence the name suspension, but the cables holding the bridge up. But yeah, it was a famous bridge even at the time because it's known. You guys might have seen the videos. They're kind of famous videos. If you've ever seen a bridge going like this, it's really the only one that was designed to do that, and it's crazy watching in 2020 a bridge just bend and move like crazy. I know some are designed now, but not to the extreme that this bridge is pretty crazy to watch when I was doing my research. But so the I basically told you why it failed. It started going this way. There's a lot of high advanced physics words and torsional twist and this and that, which caused it. I'm no physicist engineer, but basically it was supposed to move like this, and it started moving like this, and the force became too much on one of the cables, and they snapped, and the bridge went into the water. But so some of the legal issues with this is kind of one of the biggest surprises doing my research is no one was charged with negligence or criminally or any civil charges in this case. Most of the legal discussion was about who's going to pay and how much are they going to pay between the 22 parties that were involved. So that was a big surprise for me when I was doing my research, and the kind of the ethics and risk management portion. I'll kind of combine those. Basically, Moisef, the design engineer, took a risk because he designed this new bridge, sleek, light, and kind of, I don't want to say he was guessing on the numbers, but he just didn't have all the information because he didn't really know all that much about aerodynamics. I mean, he knew, of course, he did the load testing on the cables, and it'd be strong enough in that way. But once the wind got in effect, he didn't calculate for that. And so, kind of bringing that into risk is, he was taking a risk because we have to do that, as humans to develop and grow and learn. But there's a balance that needs to be had, and you don't want to take too much of a risk where you're going to put people's lives in dangers or property or huge financial losses. You don't want any of that. So there's kind of that gray zone, that balance that needs to be had, and it's easier said than done, obviously. But they didn't go. Moisef and his team didn't go through the correct risk analysis, and I'll bring that up in my points here for my best practices So based off my research, the best practices that I found that would not let this, you don't want this to happen again, would be thorough testing. And we gotta remember, I cut them like a little bit of some slack because it was 1940, but thorough testing, making scale models and putting them through a bunch of wind tests to make sure it'll stay sound, structurally successful, if that's the word you're looking for. And I think peer review is another one. And I know he wasn't the only one to ever look at his designs, but I think just getting more eyes on it, double checking math and the measurements, and measuring load strengths and materials on site, all that stuff is crucial in the success versus failure of a suspension bridge, especially, but all construction. And per the performing risk analysis, like I said before, that's easier said than done too, but it's got to be done because you gotta weigh the risks and make sure you're not putting anybody's life or too much financial risk. You want to mitigate risk as much as you can. So, and to conclude, I'll just say my last sentence of my conclusion here is, although there are many issues that arose from this collapse, a lot was learned to improve and benefit from the future of construction as a whole. Thank you.